Hi everybody, this is Kiani Pegues, your listing agent with Keller Realty. So today we're going to be talking about the move up. And the move up is when we have our current home, we're living in it comfortably, but we're ready to move on to something bigger, better, and we're moving up in the world. So we're moving up to that better property and we're super excited about it. So with the move up always comes a few concerns, right? Our first concern is that we have to sell our current home in order to buy our next. So when we're selling our current home, we're going to use those net proceeds and those will go to our new home as either the down payment or just the hefty lump sum. Our second concern is going to be what happens if your home is in escrow, but you don't find that dream home number two. So with this, the best thing to do is to lay it all on paper. We're going to get our real estate agent and our mortgage lender involved. We're going to get all of our net sheets together and our funding together, the pre-qualification, so that we can make sure that if our home is in escrow, that we're still able to find that right property within the market and within the time we need. So with that comes a few different scenarios. Today we're going to be going over the 3 different scenarios, and you might be looking at a different variation of one of these, but these 3 are the main scenarios that we mostly see commonly in the real estate market. So our first scenario, we have our home. This is our current home where it's listed, and it's going to take us about 15 to 20 days to find that qualified buyer. And then we can go into escrow. So when we're in escrow, we're going to make sure that our contract is contingent on the closing of our next home. Even if we haven't found it just yet, we're going to make sure that in case we don't find our next home within the escrow period, that we can still come back to our first house and nothing is lost, nothing is really changed. So we're in our escrow. When we're in escrow, we're going to ask for a 45 to 60 day escrow in comparison to your typical 30-day escrow. We're going to do this because we're going to give us a little bit more time just to find that next property and make sure we're in good shape. So then in that 45 to 60 day escrow, we find our home number 2. So our home number 2, once we find it, we can come at them with a very solid offer because our previous home is in escrow and it is in a 45 to 60 day escrow. So the sale of this home, we can have a 30-day escrow, which will make it a concurrent sale. For those sellers as well. So it took us 15 to 20 days to find our qualified buyer. We have a 45 to 60 day escrow here with our first home, with the contingent sale or with the contingent purchase of our next home. And then it takes us about 15 to 20 days to find this home. And then we're going to be in a 30-day escrow, making that a concurrent sale. Our next scenario is going to be when we have our home number 1, it is listed, but we're not in escrow just yet. It's a little bit more risky to do this situation, but it can be done. We just have to make sure that when we do find our home number 2, if we are still not in escrow, maybe just make sure that we bring our home number 2 sellers a solid offer and maybe offer a little bit more than what they're asking. It's always better to have just that leverage in selling your home first before going out and making sure you can find that second home, but this happens all the time and it's easily fixed. So our third scenario is going to be just our regular sale. We sold our first home and we closed with a 30-day escrow. But what happens here is maybe we haven't found our second home yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the buyers if we can do a rent back. So we're gonna pay rent to them for about 30 to 60 days. And that will give us our time to find our second home. Okay, so we've closed our home regularly, just like a normal sale would go through with a 30-day escrow, and then we ask for a 30 to 60-day rent back. So we're going to spend those 30 to 60 days searching for another home, and as long as you did your research before with your mortgage lender and your real estate agent, you made sure that the market was in good shape and offered the type of dream home that you wanted next, then you'll be in total good shape with that. So these three scenarios here are just different variations of what you may be confronted with when you're selling and purchasing your next home. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment in the comment boxes below. And any other more detailed questions, you can always reach me, Kiani Pegues, at kianirp@yahoo.com. Kiani, your listing agent. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.